Some of you guys are out there with us. Appreciate your time last week, your effort at practice, and some of the stuff you guys helped us with. Today we start our prep on the Dallas Cowboys. Obviously, this is a team that's very, very explosive. They're playing very well in all three phases right now. You talk about the special teams of bones. We always talk about the aggressiveness with the fakes and the gimmicks he always has up his sleeve. Makes you prepare for that throughout the remainder of the week. He's also, guys, had a lot of production this year on punt rushes and field goal rushes. Our protection will have to be stout. We're going to prepare a lot this week in terms of what they're doing and be ready for them being very aggressive. Defensively doing an outstanding job right now with their front of the movement and the blitz schemes they're incorporating. They're playing a lot of man defense behind it, making it very challenging on the receivers. Doing a very good job disrupting a lot of the quarterbacks right now, making it tough for them. The man coverage on the outside pressed up. The pressure on the inside is making a lot of quarterbacks make rush decisions and throw the ball into coverage, getting a lot of production on the back end. Talk about their offense, obviously, you start with the running game with these guys. They got a very, very talented offensive line, gives them a lot of freedom to run the ball, gives them a lot of freedom to sit back there and have good shots down the field with good protection. You've got to do a good job stopping the run. You have to eliminate explosive plays on this team. You have to do a good job tackling in space. Whether it's the check downs, whether it's the deep shots down the field, whether it's a run game, you have to do a good job eliminating the yards after catch or the yards after contact with the run game. That being said, obviously, it's a very tough opponent. We have to be dedicated this week, do our best preparation, give ourselves a chance on Sunday. All that being said, open up to any questions you may have.
Daniel, I guess.
Really status quo right now, guys. Still hasn't been clear for contact. Talk to the doctors. I don't have an immediate answer in terms of when that will change. He's going to continue to practice with us, stay in the field, work on his conditioning. He's in a training room. He's in the meetings with all the teammates, but there's no change in status right now.
And obviously, Mike is you guys Sunday.
Yeah, Mike will be getting prepared to play. So will Jake.
Joe, were you able to glean anything else from that appointment on Monday? I mean, in terms of the information they were able to give you?
No, there's really no change in status right now.
It was just a matter of will he be cleared? The answer was no.
Yeah, when they feel he's good for contact, then they'll clear him.
Given COVID and what's happening around the league, have you guys considered virtual meetings just to be careful, or what's?
We have. We've had a couple things pop up internally ourselves today. All the players are in masks. They're all spaced out. We're making sure that everybody's completely aired out. We're in the bubble behind you where there's more air. We'll make sure that we're safe throughout the remainder of the day. Anyone who's been involved in any kind of a close contact or a test at this point has either been removed or separated from the team, and they're in virtual meetings. We'll talk as a staff, and I'll talk with the captains today about the remainder of the week of handling meetings, partially virtual, and then getting the guys over here to practice. We've done that in the past. It's worked smoothly.
Has anyone besides Kadarius tested positive?
We've had John Ross test positive, X-Man tested positive, O'Shane that is, and there's a couple close contacts tied to those guys who will be out of the building or testing for the next few days.
Are the three guys who tested positive, are they all vaccinated?
I'm not going to players' individual status.
Anyone with any staff members, or just those two players?
Right now, it's just a couple players. There's no staff members at this moment.
Wes is still out. Wes is still on.
Wes and Jerry are on a plane as we speak, flying back here. So we expect Wes to be here this afternoon, get on the field with the trainers, start his ramp up, and Jerry to be in the meetings and out to the walkthrough this afternoon with the players.
And those positives, those obviously besides Kadarius and two other ones, those guys will go on the list.
They will. They'll all be posted on the list. Yes.
Joe, Daniel's still a young, developing quarterback. What is he missing in these 3 games, and if he has to miss the rest of the season?
Well, I think he's missing experience and opportunity to grow, and that's really nothing in his fault at all. Just as a young player in this league, every rep you take is an experience you learn from. And one thing I say for Daniel is really as you watch him, throughout his young career, there's been a lot of things that really demonstrated growth. There's been times he's made mistakes on the field that he's shown decisions later on to make sure he doesn't repeat that mistake. There's things he's picked up in terms of management of the game or how to handle something in the line of scrimmage that he's carried forward. So Daniel's done a good job working, preparing, and growing throughout his career. I think the biggest thing he's losing now is just that experience and the opportunity to grow within the craft.
Joe, that said, is there any thought, though, of saying shut him down and just let him get better?
Well, we consider that with every player. We're always thinking about their health before anything else. We're not going to put a player out there with their injury risk. So in terms of, where Daniel's at medically, we've got an entire medical team with doctors and second opinions are going to weigh in more on that. I'm not a doctor. I've got to take the input and the advice that they give me. I'm not going to put a player on the field when they're at injury risk. When they give me a green light to play a player, then I know that guy's able to go out there and play safely for that game.
Joe, there's a report out today that Jake Fromm could play in this game. Aside from Mike getting injured, do you have plans to play Jake in this game?
Mike's going to start the game for us. This isn't being coy or anything. Every player who's at the game can play, and we have plans for every player within a role of what they would do. do we have anything bracketed out at this point in terms of is he going to play a certain number of plays or anything? We do not. We do not. So we're getting Mike ready to play the game, but Jake will also be getting ready to prepare to play the game.
I would imagine Jake, because he's been here now a little bit, is more ready, you know?
I think it's a fair statement, Paul. Yeah, I think it's a fair statement. Being here a couple weeks with us, hearing the terminology, getting more reps last week out there in Arizona, that obviously helps his, growth and development in the system.
Is there any inclination to, I mean, look, you're not going to put a guy out if he's not ready to play, but is there any inclination to say, geez, we'd love to see what he can do in a game, so let's, you can force it if you want to.
There's always a part of that. There's always a part of wanting to evaluate everyone. At the same time, you want to make sure you give your team the best chance for success. So based on how they practice and prepare and who we think gives our team the best chance for success out there, that's how we'll play the players.
Joe, how much has Micah Parsons grown in a month and a half since you guys saw him?
Yeah, I mean, again, this guy coming out of college, we knew he was going to be an impact player. We had a lot of love for this guy in the building, a lot of respect for him. You knew he was going to be a good player. They're using him in different spots right now. Dan's doing a really good job of matching him up and letting him play to his pass rush skill set, playing coverage with speed. He's really become a factor in a lot of different areas. You got to know where he is on the field. They're moving him around. They're definitely doing a lot of things to help his skill set or use his skill set to help the defense. Look, this guy's a phenomenal player. I don't think anyone was surprised by that. We knew he was going to be a really good player coming out. And I think it's a tribute to how they're, using him down there to his strengths and how he's able to complement that defense and make a lot of impact plays.
Joe, did you assign Daniel to be kind of like de facto quarterback coach there on the sideline? It seemed like he was serving that role a little.
No, we absolutely did not, but that's definitely within his personality. Daniel's a guy like Colt was last year as well. It's these guys that are very invested in our team, invested in the success of the team. They prepare throughout the week, and if you're not on the field yourself as a quarterback, they're invested in helping those other quarterbacks through communication. When they all look at the tablets, whether Daniel's playing and Mike's looking at a tablet or vice versa, whether it's Colt last year, those guys do a tremendous job, whether it's a Jerry with them, Freddie with them, Nick with them, whoever it may be, of going through it and sharing what they see as well. There's great communication on those headsets and great communication on the bench right now between all of our guys. I'm very pleased how the offensive staff is working together collaboratively of moving through the game to find different matchups and keep us moving. I'm very happy with how the players are contributing information back to it. One of the toughest things to explain to players is just give us accurate information. Give us what you see, we can make adjustment on the field, and then also tell us what you feel in the game as well. If you come to the sideline and say, hey, I can get so-and-so in this route, we've got to find a way to fit that in the game plan then, right? We've got to find a way to call that and go to you. You just better win on it when we call it. But Dan's been doing a great job right now as far as, being in the meeting room, preparing, doing everything the team asks him to do. I'm not going to say patiently because I know he's always, anxious to get out there, but he's very, he puts the team first in everything he does, so you can't see any impatience in his manner, if that makes sense.
Joe, do you have any update on Leonard's elbow?
He'll be out here a little bit with us today going through the walkthrough. We'll see how it progresses throughout the week. We expect him to be practicing with us, and we'll see how it progresses into the games.
Joe, how challenging is it, Joe, to evaluate you want to keep Freddie in this role, be the OC next year when he doesn't have the starting quarterback to call plays with?
Our job is to prepare the players we have available and give ourselves the best plan to go out there and have success. I think the offense right now, the staff offensively, is working together to do that. I'm pleased with Mike's working every day. He's a good teammate. He's a hard worker. He's coming out and giving us his best every day. We're going to keep pushing forward on that.
Joe, I don't think you have a lot of experience with this. Do you buy into the spoiler role? Can a team take that on, especially with a team like the Cowboys? You know what I mean?
I don't know if you ever want to label yourself in that category. I think our focus is just to go out there and win a game. That's it.
But I mean, it can.
I know what you're saying.
Can it be motivation? I mean, you say what the standings are, and a lot of people would like you in this building and in New Jersey would like you to beat the Cowboys.
Our motivation is to go out there every week regardless. You get 17 opportunities a year. So if you need motivation, you need a pep talk, you need a song, you need some kind of a speech, you're probably in the wrong locker room.
Joe, Jake Fromm. Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Go ahead.
Have you, worst case scenario, if Daniel does have to be shut down, do you feel you've seen enough of him in the 1+ years you've worked with him to say, to feel good about his future here?
I feel good about Daniel already. I want him to keep growing and developing his craft. Obviously, he's a great asset to our team. You want to have him available to play with the team. That's obviously something that, we're not keeping secret. There's not really much more to say past that, Patty. I mean, Daniel's done a good job growing for us. We're going to keep on pushing forward with him.
Jake Fromm, is it fair to say that you would like to see production in practice before a player plays?
Yeah, that's fair to say. That's fair to say, and that's with any of our players. But how you practice, is a very good indication of how you're going to play. So we have to see guys go out there and execute it in practice, I can't rely on someone telling me someone's a gamer. I don't really know what that is. I mean, good players come out every day and they play. So, he's a young quarterback. He's still developing this league. He's new to the system. We're going to give him an opportunity to keep on working through it. But absolutely, for any player at any position, production and practice equals opportunities in games.